The future is here. An innovation that will change the way the industry works. A Hot 100 chart, updated daily. The most accurate price guide on the market. Every card has its own profile with a wealth of information. Know the precise, real-time value of any card in the system. On demand. You now have the power to unlock the secrets of the hobby. The game changer is here. Card Ladder.
Let's go. I got plenty more energy left. Seltzers giveth and they taketh away, though. What's up, Jurgen? How's it going, man? Dude, my son and I read that basketball kids book that you got us tonight. Love that one. He likes the football one because it's got Randy Moss with an afro. And he's like, whoa, look at his hair. My son loves those books, dude. Whoa, David, you on your personal account? Dude, I eat the fish. David, that scene with the scene with Jin Yang in season 1 where he's like cutting the fish is so good. I love all the Jin Yang stuff. Where he's like doing the jokes with like Mike Hawk. Oh man. If anyone hasn't seen Silicon Valley on HBO, you should watch that show. It's hilarious.
Huh?
It's basically
You want to be?
comedy and life. What's up, dude?
What's up?
Have you seen Silicon Valley?
No.
I was talking to David about it. It's like one of the best shows, dude. It's just about like the tech industry in Silicon Valley, but it's a comedy. It's so good.
Oh, that lovely, lovely tech industry.
Back. I know Justin's gonna watch this. So he's big on the Truly, so I had to.
There you go.
Rick and Morty. I've never seen that show.
Nick
Maybe
likes
some-
that show.
Yeah, I heard it's good.
Lefko likes their cards. I know that much.
I wonder if television show cards are gonna be a thing. I saw like Game of Thrones cards and autograph stuff. I don't know. It might be kind of fun to collect that stuff.
Star Wars cards are big.
Why the hell not?
Star Wars, yeah, I can see that. Like what about like the older ones? Do they have like OG?
Yep. Yeah.
That'd be cool. Oh, David's back on the professional account. Smart.
Cardboard says Lefko needs to slow down. What do you mean? Lefko's just getting started, baby. Dude, Lefko told the story on Stacking Slabs where you messaged him and you said, "Bro, focus a little bit, man. You have so many good cards that you're coming up with, but perhaps it's wiser to focus." It was funny. It was amazing hearing his side of that story. But what was your side of that story when you told the great Adam Lefko that maybe it's wise to focus for a minute?
I haven't watched the episode. Maybe give me some context about what he said.
Oh, what did he say? He just said, see, Lefko is amazing on podcasts as a guest. And he was regaling the great host, Brad of Stacking Slabs, with the story about you messaged him on Instagram one day to impart some wisdom. And the wisdom was basically, I've seen you post like a Pokemon card, a LeBron, this type of card, like three very different type of cards. You're like, maybe it's wiser to focus on just one type right now.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to call it like I see it. You know that. I'll tell you what I see, no matter who it is. And I like Adam. I think he's a great guy. So I thought maybe he would appreciate the direct the direct feedback versus dancing around it a little bit. So I guess that was that.
Okay, he did. Riverfront Collectibles did have a question for us. He said, how many cards is Josh going to send in and try to get MBA Black Diamond certificates for? Those are the grades of the grades.
That would be none. How do you even do that? Can you tell me how that even works? Where do I send it?
Oh, I don't even know if we want to open up the box. Pandora's box there.
It's like one guy. It's like a personal address. Send it here.
But, Frank 3500 had a good point. He said in coins, the grading companies that certify grades that have already been issued actually adds quite a premium. And PWCC certifications add a premium as well.
Yeah. I mean, I could be totally wrong. And once again, I'm willing to adjust, and I'm not going to get too low on the idea. It just seems a little silly right now, I guess.
Yeah, that is a very reasonable take, I believe. Let's talk about this because two people wrote in about this. Iconic Card Collector and Cart Mageddon both wrote in about this. Iconic Card Collector said, Josh Donaldson is dropping a monster Instagram post today. He is clearly cornering the Luka, Zion, Trey, and Ja Morant market. And Cart Mageddon said, easy topic for you guys this week. Please gush over Josh Donaldson's ridiculous collection.
Man, it's awesome, dude. And he was pretty humble about it, too. Like, he wasn't, I mean, he obviously had a lot of awesome stuff, but he just was saying, his post was like, if you have more, let me know. He's clearly a collector. He's clearly hoarding and showing collector tendencies, and he's not, just like flipping random Prism stuff. He had like a black gold Luka, which is out of 5, which is an insane card. He had an RPA out of 99. It's awesome, dude. I love it. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of people that are collectors, dude, and like these athletes. I mean, some of them I would assume, enjoy the investment side of cards, but like, those guys got started collecting. They're just collectors. They're just people that like cards, and the more that we see these guys come out and like not be afraid to show it, and Adam Lefkowitz talked about this, like getting these guys to be proud of it and make it more mainstream, and Giannis doing it, and LeBron hinting that he has some cards, dude. That kind of stuff is really what gets people excited. It's like, we're not nerds anymore. We're like we finally made it to the cool table, and this is like, let's stay here.
But you know what? I don't think we want to be at the cool table, to tell you the honest truth. I think we're better at the nerd corner. We have our own nerd table. We all put our lunch trays next to each other, and we just huddle together and quietly talk about our thing. Because, what happens is, dude, okay, I'm no expert on this, but a $375,000 Pokemon box, right, was opened up, and it was a resealed box, and there was weird people involved in this live stream. They all had weird vibes. And it just feels like the more cool people who get involved, the less cool things start to happen. There's an inverse relationship between the number of cool people who get involved and the number of shady things that tend to occur. Do you have any thoughts on that?
That was my favorite video ever. We have to talk about that.
Bro, this is unacceptable, bro.
Dude, okay, so a little backstory. I'll keep it very brief. Basically, Pokemon cards are on fire. Logan Paul bought the first edition base, which if you're not, it's basically like 86 Flair, like a sealed box of it, which is rare, hard to find. When you open it, it's a big deal. It's like the original Pokemon. It's like the first set for English Pokemon cards. And Logan Paul got into it, big YouTuber, paid $200,000, and then this guy wanted to pay $375,000, basically double the price in a month on this box. And he wanted to buy it, and he wanted to do it to like be cool. And he's got a bunch of YouTube followers, and he wants to open it, and he wants to sell the packs, donate to charity, and do the whole YouTube thing. And they call in the experts. They call in these YouTube experts, and if you're in the Pokemon community, I know a lot of the guys in the Pokemon community, and these guys aren't experts. They're just like big YouTube content guys. They're sort of fringe, like surface level experts. They bring them on. They bring in this expert, self-proclaimed guru of collectibles to facilitate this deal, and they're all looking at it, and they're like, yeah, this box is definitely real. It's going to be awesome, and we're going to open it.
and they open it and it's just a total fake, just fake cards, fake everything, just filled with junk, like not real, resealed box, and it's just a total disaster. And they're all like, "Oh yeah, I'm freaking out," and just like the build up to it was these guys just like you said, these cool guys jerking themselves off to how smart they are and investing in cards and how amazingly smart they are and how ahead of all their rich friends they are and how they saw this thing way before anyone else and they're going to get in and pay double the last sale, which is, like not smart. But, and then to see them just like fall so fast, so hard because it's not easy, right? Like this isn't just like an easy thing. Collecting is like it's an intelligence game and it's a smart man's game. And like you said, it's like a nerdy thing. And you do have to have a lot of knowledge to get into it. You can't just be some rich tech guy with a huge house and just go out and buy a $400,000 box of cards and expect to crush it, right? It takes more than that.
And it should. Like, you should be very nervous if it's just as easy as I spent $375,000 and now I have $1 million or something. Anything that works that way probably is up to no good, but I don't think it works that way. But yeah, that's let's just stay at the nerd table. That's the table I'd much rather be at. So I see Dr. Card Knowledge is in the chat. He sent in a question, more of a rant, but we love those too. He said, basically, distill it down. I sent a 200 card order to BGS and only got 37 9.5s. The excuse was that they got new people working there, messing up the business of card grading. Mind you, this dude is the guy that I submit almost every order to for the past 2 years. Me and him now have an understanding that I will never grade with BGS again. I think the gist of this, I don't know what you take away from this, the gist of this is that, this individual sounds like a very loyal customer, is not happy with BGS, and he seems to credit it to a change in the way that they're doing business. And then obviously nobody's going to be happy about getting only 37 9.5s out of 200 submitted, unless you're submitting like 90 stuff or something. I don't know what types of cards were submitted. Do you have any thoughts on this for our friend Dr. Card Knowledge?
I mean, it feels like it's yet another tactic from them to deter people from sending in cards. Like, oh, you're going to keep sending in even though we raise prices and increase turnaround. I know how to get you to stop sending in cards. We'll just grade tougher.
Dude, you might very well be right about that.
I hope I'm not, because like I would hope that the issue with grading, and I like grading. I think it's important and it's a good third party unbiased situation. But the problem is when you have inconsistencies across time, right? It's like a referee inside of a basketball game when they're calling a foul in the first quarter and they're not calling it in the fourth. It's the same thing. Players get pissed off about that because they want consistency within the flow of a single game.
Totally.
If we have grading where it's easier in one era of grading, 10 years ago, and it's harder now, it's going to just completely sort of wash out what they mean. Like if I buy a slab from 10 years ago, is it going to be worth less than a slab today because it was easier to grade back then? Like it just gets really muddy and it's a tough situation. So I don't like the whole like we're going to get tougher now, and the grading companies are never going to admit to that, but it seems like we are seeing that. So it's kind of sucky.
I agree. Man, grading is in a weird spot right now. It's in a really weird spot.
And dude, what if we actually do get robotic grading AI, and like doesn't that kind of force all of us to resend everything we have? And like,
oof, very good question. Kind of it does, because once there's like a new standard like that, you really do kind of need to reevaluate everything that was done under the old standard. Yeah.
That makes things touchy.
Yeah, it does.
So the rare stuff is better, right? Like you're not as worried about the grading as with the rare stuff,
Yeah, and people, man, since 2016 at least, people have been talking about bringing in artificial intelligence or machine learning in order to grade cards and making the process entirely non-human. People have been talking about this for a long, long time. It's like if and when it does finally happen, it wouldn't surprise me, right? Because we've it's been called out for half a decade, at least almost half a decade to my knowledge. But it hasn't happened yet. Like, I don't think it's a technological limitation. Why do you think it hasn't happened yet?
Because like these big tech companies haven't paid attention to it yet. I don't know. And just like there hasn't been someone that came in and like a big tech leader that comes in because honestly, like if Google or Amazon was like, oh, they would just fucking crush this space because they would just be like, oh, we already have that technology. What do I have to do? Oh, just hire a few people to grade. Yeah, and, I mean, we don't even need that. We'll just like build this machine and we just need to. We already have the infrastructure. I mean, they could just literally just do it overnight if they felt like it.
Yeah. Very good point. We have several people chiming in a little bit late, perhaps, but on a very interesting point that you made. D-Nick, the one, says, no offense, but more than half of the PSA 10s out there will be at best PSA 9. Hell, BGS 10 will almost be impossible to get. Dude, that is very true. Especially the early 2018 Prism stuff that got graded. There are many 10s out there that are not 10s on a regrade. How do I know that? Just look at the centering. The centering on some of this stuff is just absolutely insane. And J-Leaf Sports Cards Live says that puts all graded cards at risk, which is crazy to think about. Dude, that's very crazy to think about. And if your card has a grade of 10 twice, then it shouldn't be a 10 in the first place. Or, God forbid, you have a card that somehow otherwise has deteriorated in the slab. We talked about greening last week.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be very tricky. And honestly, dude, it would cost a lot of money for people to regrade their PCs, especially with an upcharge being implemented. So maybe it wouldn't happen. I don't know.
I saw that 100 Cardboards, Paul, what's up, man? He said, very simply, grading is a scam. And you could laugh at that comment and just sort of like take that as like someone being a hater, but it's kind of it's something that you can't ignore because like as a pure collector, like Paul and a lot of people are out there that like they really do just love collecting, and I put myself in this category. And I started grading when I first started collecting. I thought grading was stupid and a scam because it's just like if I'm getting in this to collect, like the grading just doesn't really make much sense. I get the sentiment, and maybe if you try to like remove grading from how you approach the hobby, it might help you in a sense of like use grading to just like supplement what you have and don't make it the base of collecting, right? Like assume that grading isn't going to get better and assume it's just this thing that exists and use it to like help you if you need it, but don't rely on it.
Well said. Very well said. And find a way to see that cup as being half full, in my opinion, because there are advantages to the inefficiencies of grading, such as if you're a person who's willing to be extremely patient and wait the 6 months and learn the ins and outs of the hobby and find a good group submitter or figure out a way to do it on your own, like there are rewards at the end of that path for you, in particular just because there's so many obstacles in the way of people taking the time and making the effort to grade cards. So like, okay, there's one upside to the difficulty of grading as it currently exists is that, well, not as many people do it.
Yeah. And I know you and I feel the same about like we like the sort of finality of having a graded card, like having it slabbed and protected and someone has authenticated it, they put some sort of number. It's a very like satisfying final authentication to the card, and it feels good, so I get that part of it as well. Especially on like a super rare card, like a Penny Hardaway that's not super valuable. Like having a PSA 4 or PSA 6 and 7, like just having it slabbed in my collection makes me happy. And with like your PSA 5 red, I know that doesn't bother you. It bothers you a little bit that only because you knew it was higher before. If you bought it as a 5, you would be super happy.
Yeah, I would. And there's a weird thing going on with grading of very high-end cards that require, authentication and that are subject to, you know, potential trimming or being overgraded or fakes. And the advantage is that PSA guarantees the authenticity and it guarantees the grade. So every time that they would give like a penny PMG green, like a PSA 9, they expose themselves to a lot more liability than if they give out a PSA 5. I'm not saying that that's influencing their decision necessarily, but it's something to think about. And also, that's one of the reasons for the upcharge, is because they are providing an insurance policy on your item when they authenticate it and grade it. And if it's a higher end item, insurance costs more. We all get the logic of that. And like, the PSA 5 Red Jordan, at this point, I'm just thrilled that it's in a PSA case, to be completely honest with you. And there's a number on it, because I know that guarantee backs up that card. And I just love that card. I think it pops in the PSA slab. We've talked about that before, how the PMGs like really pop in the PSA slabs. So, you know, and I've always loved slabs. I'm not going to lie. When I first came back to the hobby, I bought like a really off-brand slab from a local shop because I didn't know better. And I still thought it was the coolest thing ever. I just have always liked slabs. I think the presentation dimension they bring to cards is really awesome. That's just my point of view.
And it is easier to sell that way. There's like very little. There's still some. There's a lot less, you know, back and forth on condition. It's like, well, you know, it's a PSA 4, so like, it's not gem mint. You know that.
Yep. Exactly. That is so true. Ooh, there was some stuff in the chat. This is kind of a fun question I wanted to make sure we get to. David says nothing cleaner than a fresh new label PSA 10.
Not wrong.
He's not.
Like a PSA 10 LeBron refractor is very satisfying.
It is. I agree. Cooks CLLC writes in, favorite hobby conspiracies?
Do you have one ready? Because I need a minute.
You know,
Favorite, like, you know, ironically, or
you know, whatever. Hobby conspiracies. They are fun to discuss. A favorite, I don't know. You know, most of the conspiracies have been like vetted, and they actually like people like look in it, like Shaq autos, Luka autos, like people have looked, Dak Prescott autos, like that stuff got looked into. And so I don't even know if it's totally fair to call them conspiracies. There's evidence to support them, or at least reasonable minds can disagree. So what give me an example of a conspiracy. Honestly, I'm trying to
so a conspiracy is pop control, right? Like the company's trying to take a card that they see as going up in value, and then they get more submissions of that card, and they try to keep the pop and the 10 lower and the gem rate lower, so they'll like start giving out more 9s. So there's some sort of influence on pre-existing population and the need to keep it low. That's the big conspiracy. I think that to me is the biggest, potentially most real thing, because the graders are human, right? And like they are influenced by their bottom line as a company, and like sure, it would be better if they were completely unbiased, but like they never will be 100% unbiased because they're humans and they work at a company that's trying to make money. So like it's a little bit self-serving, even if they don't admit it, right?
Yes, and even I don't know. Okay, if the theory is that the soul, what is it?
Cardporn said that the conspiracy that Josh is really an AI bot.
Yep, that's not a conspiracy anymore.
Caught us.
If the theory is that like, oh, they are strictly motivated by controlling the population for cards, so they protect the value for other collectors. The evidence to support that is simply, if you look at the growth of pop reports over time, like the 86 Fleer Michael Jordan PSA 10 has been like at 312 for a long time. There is some evidence to support that, but whereas the other grades have all increased. So like, okay, I see the basis for it, but there's not much beyond that. If you did couple in the fact that like the graders have gotten stricter over time and you built that into the hypothesis too, I think now we're getting closer to the truth, because I do think graders get stricter over time, and I think it takes time for graders to learn the cards. So we were talking 2018 Prism, there was PSA 10s given out to those cards early in the grading cycle that did not deserve PSA 10s. And they would not get PSA 10s if they were resubmitted today. I think that's graders learning the cards. So I don't know. I suppose there's a I don't know.
Chris and Christina are the same person. Christina, pop your face. There we go. There we go. There we go.
Conspiracy.
Chris and Christina are the same. That's the highest compliment anybody's ever paid to Christina.
I saw that in before.
Okay. So Rodman says the owner of 5 PMG Greens.
That's real.
MJ's is no longer a conspiracy. That's a good one.
It's real. I've seen him. I mean, we've all seen him now, but I did see a picture. I've seen pictures of that before he graded them, and I was like, "Jeez, man."
Oh, but it's awesome too. They're all authenticated as well. Cards by Goldie says Panini putting the Nebula 1/1 Tom Brady pulled by Kardashian. So, dude, that's a really funny story. All right. First of all, Bullpen LA was the ones who pulled that shot.
Yeah,
That's sick.
Big man Ben.
Yeah, so Ben pulled it.
Yep.
That's awesome. Rodman, you know about Bullpen LA as well. He's been there with us once. Also, what was funny about that story was that the news broke somehow that it's a $250,000 card.
It's like $1,000 card, right? $2,000
Yeah,
card.
it's like a few grand on a good day.
It's a Brady like year 19. Like it's not like I don't yeah.
But it's not even like it's not like the real like base Prism Nebula. It's like the Mosaic, right? Or something.
Yeah, it's Mosaic. It was
Yep.
Mosaic.
And it's like an insert too. It's like Mosaic MVP insert.
Yes.
It's not even close to the right one.
It wasn't it a Genesis?
Nebula.
It wasn't Nebula?
Yep, Nebula 1/1.
I didn't even know they had. I honestly didn't even know they had Mosaic MVP Nebulas. You know, it's like you're saying too many things. You're confusing me.
Yep, indeed. But nonetheless, TMZ, the great fact checkers, ran with the story that it could be
I'm
worth
sure.
250.
What's the guy's name? The Kardashian. I don't know dick about Kardashian. What's his name?
Rob
Rob.
Kardashian.
So Rob, I'm just gonna take a leap here and say that like a lot of his self-worth is based on hype and like the fact that he has a family that screams and yells at each other. So he got this card and was so hyped, he probably told TMZ, this card's worth fucking $250,000, bro. Like, I just pulled the best card of all time. And TMZ's like, yeah, sure, you're Rob Kardashian. Let's write this shit.
Yeah, no, I get it. And like, how do they know who to go to verify something like that? Well, hat tip to the latest Yahoo Finance article that did in fact cite Card Ladder for its analytical sports card data. Yeah, that was nice of them to do that. Wow. So there are sources out there that do know where to go to get vetted sales data and where to go to get predicted prices on specifically an item like that, specifically so that things like this can get figured out somehow.
We only have one sales point, and it was that it sold for $250,000. Last sold.
Last sold.
Last
Right
sold.
out of the pack, but last sold.
Shut up, pack. Yeah, I mean, I think it's funny because like the celebrities, the ones who aren't like in it for the collecting, like Josh Donaldson is obviously a collector, but guys who kind of come into it as like, oh, let me just like pull one card and then use my influence to try to trick somebody into buying this thing from me for like 10x what it's worth. Man, that's just kind of gross.
Super gross. Hate it. He sold it to Kanye.
Winner. We got a winner.
That's good. Look, dude. So Adam Lefko is telling me to tell the truth. I need to tell the truth. It's late on a Friday night. Let's tell the truth.
Hit the people with the truth.
Dude, the author of the Yahoo article on sports cards, which, you know, has been widely shared around sports card circles, and maybe more people, contacted us. And we had a nice phone conversation with them. And then afterwards, I spent several hours putting together research to help them write this article. And, you know, we gave them some nice factoids. Like, one of the factoids that you see appearing in that article is something we pointed out to them, which is what's a good way to, like, measure the growth of the hobby recently. And we were like, well, one of the metrics used is comparing foot traffic at the national year over year. Like, that's a pretty reliable proxy, but we really don't have that much good data. And then, you know, we kind of explained how data works in the hobby and stuff like that. And, like, you know, we allowed this author to gain access into Card Ladder. And then, you know, I have one of my little hobby bits that I like to do to tell people about the hobbies. I like to do the 1986 Fleer versus the Microsoft stock bit. That's one of my favorite bits that I do. And I have to give a shout out to Garrett, 23 over Elo, because he and I were chatting, and like he really was like, oh, like, you're so high in basketball cards, why don't you compare it to Microsoft stock, bro? And so I went ahead and did it, and I was like, wow, this actually is an amazing comparison. Right. So, like, I have to give a hat tip to him because we were talking. That's how we came up with that. But so now I like to use that bit to tell the story of the hobby. And I sent him the same research that I prepared for Lefko's podcast before I went on the podcast. I just sent him the research full with citations to the don'tquityourjjob.com calculator and the golden auction. Just literally just handed it to him on a silver platter. Here's all the data. Right? Like, I can go look at the email right now. I sent it to him. He never replies to the email. The author doesn't reply to the email. But when the article comes out, there's a full animation graphic displaying the golden auction that we gave him, the Don't Quit Your Day Job calculator that we gave him, every single source I gave him, all the data presented, repackaged, I made a graphic, not even an acknowledgement of who provided this research and who gave them the tip. They didn't give us an acknowledgement on the foot traffic observation either. Maybe somebody else fed him that observation too. But the observation about the 86 Fleer, like, that came straight from us. The sources came straight from an email that I sent him. Not even a footnote, not even a hat tip, you know, nothing at all. Like that was slightly sad. And then, you know, but at least they gave a hat tip to Card Ladder in a little byline area for a graphic. So
yeah,
that's the truth.
We probably can't talk about the texts that went back and forth between me and you about just like the curse words that were sent back and forth over Facebook Messenger.
Dude, it was just disappointing, man. And, like, you know, the importance of sources and citing to people who are doing responsible research, like, you want to incentivize that, right? You want people, like, who are doing effort, putting an effort to, like, give you reliable data, incentivize them to keep doing it, right? Just say, like, hey, this is who provided this. Like, that's not hard. I don't know. In fact, I don't know why you wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I don't know why you wouldn't do that.
We kind of assumed that, like, oh, it's Yahoo, like, they're going to do it the right way, you know, like, it's a big company and they do it. Dude, no. Like, it's worse, you know, like, you just assume you run into these big names or these big companies and that they're going to do it right, and they're not, you know, like, they're just like anyone else. They're just out for themselves, which is very disappointing, man. Like, everyone's in it for themselves. Nothing else really to say about it. That's kind of how it goes. Yeah.
So there's the truth, Lefko. There is the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
That's a little behind the scenes, a little behind the curtains, a little inside baseball for the great Hour 2 viewers.
And if anyone knows Chris, he's not exaggerating on how much time you spent. Sure, you were like spent 3 hours on it.
I did. And that wasn't the only data that I sent him too. Like I was like, he was like, what are some good cards to, like, sort of capture what happened in the hobby over last year? And I sent him LeBron Topps Chrome PSA 10, and, like, I told him this is what it sold for a year ago, this is what it sells for now, this is the percentage change. If you go in Card Ladder, this is how you find the data points. Like, I just boom, 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 boom.
Make it feel better. It's Yahoo, so nobody fucking read it anyways.
Dude, you know what would make me feel better is if he just did the right thing. Because honestly, venting about it doesn't.
Wouldn't that make you feel better, just like across the board, if people just started doing the right thing? It's not gonna happen, bro.
I know, man, and like we have to keep encouraging it. And it's funny how the Kardashian article ties into that, right? Because like when people report on the hobby, we really need people to report accurately.
Yeah.
Joe, the bar happened like a month ago or more.
Did you get the result? How did it go?
Yeah, still waiting on the result.
We need can we start some sort of like movement or something? I don't know dick about like Instagram movements, but maybe like some sort of like post your humility story, which is like completely opposite of what that actually means. You know, you wouldn't like brag about your humility. But is there some way to like make humility like a better thing in the hobby?
Reward humility, and then we'll all try to out humble each other.
But like we're all just posting each other's stuff. Like nobody's actually ever bragging. Like Chris,
there's like a balance. There's a balance, right? Like we all love it too when people show off or they make a big acquisition. Like you love to see that too. It's inspirational, right? It makes you want to go out and do it too.
You know humility when you see it, kind of thing, right? You can't really talk about it. You just know it when you see it.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
Like cardboard.
That's a quote, isn't it? You know it when you see it. And they were
Like
talking about humility.
Oh,
Nothing else.
yeah, I only know that quote in the connotation of porn. Yeah,
that's what.
Cardboard.
Cardboard. Yeah, and humility is a work in progress too. It's not something. Here's a humble quote about humility. It's not something that came naturally to me. I really had to freaking work on it a lot. Like, and I'm
Had to stop talking.
Yeah, yes. Sometimes that is the only solution to that problem.
Yeah, I in general listen to people who don't talk a lot, which is I feel like that's a pretty sweet statement. It's a very powerful thing. When people don't talk a lot and they don't scream hello when the video starts and they don't scream live. In general, if someone is screaming at you when the video starts, you should turn it off. Just as like a general like tidbit of life advice. Start there. Like if Stephen A. Smith is yelling at you, like turn it off. Or live from Investa, whatever, like turn it off. People that are generally quiet in their day to day, and when they actually speak up and say something, it's probably going to be more humble and accurate and data driven and intellectual. So
that's what you want, man. That's what you want.
And here we are rambling 2 hours deep.
Yeah, well, so that's like meta humility, where it's like, if you really think about it, our humility is telling you, don't even listen to us. That's how humble we are. We're so humble that we're telling you, don't even listen. Just absorb the entertainment value.
The only reason I blab on so much, this isn't like a this isn't like a sponsored thing. Like I need this to get a little bit of courage to speak this much.
Yeah, it's just the right dose. It's just the right dose. Could you imagine Stephen A. Smith opening a pack of cards? There's a great Lameem James meme about this. You have not seen it.
Dude, what? Okay, so did he leave for a week? What was going on? He was on vacation.
Lameem James's absence was sorely felt in the hobby.
Jeez, man. If I leave, nobody gives a shit. Freaking Lameem James leaves. It's like, what the heck happened?
I care, Josh.
Okay.
Josh, you need to leave for a month because your posts are more intermittent. If nobody heard from you for a month, but Lameem is the meme machine. I mean, when you don't get 10 memes a day, that's kind of cruel of him to just get. He didn't like wean us off, 9 memes a day, 8, 7, so we could come down. He just went from 10 memes a day to none for a week. That's cruel. We can't allow that.
The good part is he came back guns blazing.
Dude, honestly, like I was chatting with him too ever since he's been back, and like there's an edge to him that was not there before vacation. Vacation is supposed to relax you, but
No.
he came back so, dude, he is fired up right now, dude.
He was
Like,
sharpening.
he's going hard at Lamar Jackson. He's saying Lamar Jackson is the Ben Simmons of football. He is going hard right now, dude.
He took that break to sharpen his edges, man.
Dude, well, he came back with a sharp blade. What's up, Steelers card, Shia, the young goat in the hobby? Always love to see you on these chats, bro. Dude, Rodman, you're right, man. We need our daily hobby fix.
So I'm interviewing Christian on Monday.
Woo! He made it big time. He actually messaged me to brag about that, so I knew that was coming.
Ooh,
Yeah, he said now he finally made it.
sick. I was like begging him because I asked him last week and he was like, "Well, I'm on vacation." So then I was like, "Oh, that's why you're not doing memes." And then I was like, I had to follow up with the guy. I was like, "How about this week, please?"
He's in demand now, I guess, huh?
He's in the power seat, not me.
Dude, he single-handedly made memes like a way of life in the hobby. There's probably like 50 accounts. That might be an exaggeration. Maybe there's like 10 to 12 accounts that would not exist if not for the success of Lameme and the quality of the memes. But he's unmatched right now.
But dude, like how we talk about like there's like a level of maturity that the hobby needs in order to grow, and the PWCC talks about that all the time. Also, you need these other things to make an industry go to the next level. You need haters, you need comedy. Like these are all like the pillars of all these different industries, right? You have to have it, otherwise nobody's gonna take it serious. If everyone is just all hyping, all hype beast, all everything up, it's gonna be you need some balance, otherwise like it's just not gonna work.
Oh, it's so true. So true. First of all, we need to be able to laugh at ourselves.
Totally.
We need to be able to do that. And a meme account like his, especially, is sophisticated enough that like honestly, no one is going to escape his, machine gun. If somebody's going to get hit, no matter who you collect, you're going to get hit. There was a meme made of me grabbing another man's crotch. He has attacked and made a lot of fun of Luca on a number of occasions. He makes fun of Trey. Dude, he has you in a Civic with Trey Young, and the rims are spinning. It's good when we can laugh at ourselves. Being able to laugh at yourself, is a reflection of the level of security and self-confidence that we need.
We need more IGN.
Yeah, that's when we know we really will have made it, is when everybody's account is not their own cards. It's just somebody else's card that they post with a paragraph about how to invest in raw base cards, and then photo credit this person.
Well, I like when he posts my cards, but if he's posting other people's cards, not cool, man. As long as he's typing my shit, I'm on board.
Yep. Just sending 50 followers your way, man. It's worth it.
Well, no, I don't even care if he tags me. Just like more hype on the card,
Dude, those posts get so
Ron, hey, baby. What a bum. What a bum.
Maybe I'm just petty because nothing of mine has ever been worth stealing.
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say that.
It might be the case.
You don't post your shit enough, dude.
Yeah, I know. I only post my cards once a piece. What the fuck? Not enough.
I think that was the first F-bomb you dropped in the show. I did it.
Oh, wow. Wow. How long have we been doing this show? It's since June?
I need to send you some Trulies, I think.
You could. The pending folder that night might be. Might not come out completely correct, but
I'll send them with instructions on how to cool them. Put them in the fridge and then drink them. It's not like grating, it's a lot easier. You just fridge them up and you drink them.
it sounds simple enough, but Christina could probably tell you I could probably mess that up.
It's just like throws them in the freezer and they blow up.
Dude, boy can't boil water, so don't be surprised.
I can pour a bowl of cereal. How about that?
He'll spill the milk though.
Dude, in this day and age, everyone's got DoorDash, you know?
You know, it's the brilliance of specialization. Everybody just specialize, and everything gets better in the aggregate.
That's a genius. Dude, it's all about the T. Have I told you about the T?
No, what's the T?
It's an upside down T, and it basically means that like you're super hyper good at one thing and you're not an idiot at everything else. You just like you do the bare minimum of like everything, but you're super good at one thing.
That makes sense. And some people are like a sideways E, where like they're not great at anything, but like there's 3 things that they're good at, and then they're an idiot at everything else.
I like the T. Like I'm super good at coding, you know, and I'm pretty terrible at all other industries.
I mean, it's a good way to be. I think you could put cards. So maybe what letter if you turn it on its side? A C, a capital. You're a capital C. Where you
Right.
have coding and cards, and then a big valley, but you have at least 2.
Hard letters in good hands.
Yeah, yes, it truly is. I'm just browsing through the other questions. I posted the request for questions kind of late, so like I'm not going to hold it against you guys that you didn't send in too many great questions. Some of these questions are just too serious for right now.
Yeah, it's I'm an F on SPAC. People that are still hanging 65 people, you guys are brave souls.
You guys are legends. Take the opportunity if you wish to
Drop
toss
some
a comment.
There you go. You're an F on SPAC. Yes.
There you go. Least favorite newer product.
WNBA. I'm 7. 7.
Oh, that's so true.
So bad.
Thoughts on Prism box grills?
Dude, when Christina said that she's not into it, that gave me the runway to be like, see, other girls don't like it, so I'm allowed to say it's stupid.
Thank you, Christina.
You're
For
welcome. I give you permission.
Right.
NASCAR, yeah, we were at a local shop, great local shop, and they were trying to sell us on NASCAR pretty hard. And they like NASCAR, like they definitely had the cars themselves.
Is it pictures of the cars or the drivers?
It's both, right? It's hard to get action shots, right? Because you either get the vehicle or it's
I mean, turn left. My son was watching Cars tonight, the Cars 2. That's a good movie, man. This is like, those Pixar guys got it figured out.
Is that the one where they go to Europe?
It is. Oh, it's so good.
That's a good one.
Sam is just like, Daddy, you gotta watch this whole scene. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm on my phone, just being an asshole. And I'm like, yeah, it's so good. And he's like, no, you gotta watch this part.
Parenting 101.
Parenting 101, yep.
Yeah. It's all about not having your phone. That's pretty much parenting in these days.
Yeah, it's probably a good place to start. Baby Yoda rookies. That's where we're at right now.
That is where we're at in this world.
Draft. I agree with draft products.
Oh, garbage. Total garbage. It's only because it comes out earlier that people buy it.
Yep. It's really that simple.
Every year, man. Every year, people buy that stuff. And I even remember Zion and Lonzo Ball. And it's like, oh, these are going to be, dude. And then like a month later, literally nobody gives a freaking shit about those cards.
It's true. I can recall some of our great content creators on YouTube pledging that this year was going to be different. It was going to be different this time. And, hoarding the draft wax, Prism draft, and just showing off with great enthusiasm these amazing investments and the value of these cards coming out of the box when they came out. And nope.
My favorite is that with Zion, they're like, but guys, it's Duke. It's an established university. This is different, guys. this is going to be better because it's Duke and the Pelicans are lame and it's not a big team and like the Duke stuff is going to hold value. Nope.
Nope. It's you know, it's this disruptor mentality. You know, oh, we're gonna come into this space and disrupt it. And it's like, try understanding the space first before you disrupt it.
Yeah, that's like me going into crypto and being like, here's how this is going to work, guys. You're all going to buy the crypto that I say because I want to get rich. No, it doesn't work that way.
Nope. And there's a reason things are the way they are.
Miles Turner collegiate one. But it's got the RC logo on it, Chris.
Okay.
It's got the RC logo.
Oh, okay. Great point. Great point there. Yeah, okay. Here's my gripe with product. There's too much product. And within the product, there's too much product. So there's too many products, and then there's too much product in the product.
You're not going to be able to stop companies from printing money, dude. Not going to happen.
Indeed. So that puts us in a weird place.
So, well, I mean, that's why I'm so big on the collector community and the collector base deciding what are like the top three, right? The Prism Silver, Prism Gold, RPA 99 vertical, and one or two other things, and that's it. And I love that the community has done that.
It's huge. We need that. We need it to be that way. Yep. Nothing else to say on that topic. It is good that that the history exists for that to take place, and that we have hierarchy.
If they do that, and we as a community are at peace with the ones that we want, they can print 10 times what they print today. We don't care. Like, go for it. It's like I've been saying all night. We just keep adjusting to what things we can't control, keep adjusting to what happens. Let them print Chronicles Part 3 and combine Mosaic with Status to make it, who cares? Just let them make all their weird decisions. Let them make 100 parallels. We know they're going to make gold and silver, so like that's all we care about.
Indeed. Very well said. Summertime cards, the great summertime cards. Letting us all vicariously live through shows across the country on his Instagram story, which that is appreciated. He said, "Hypers ain't it? Collectors don't want cards where 80% have ugly refractor lines." Yeah.
I've gotten that question like so many times in DMs. They're like, should I be buying hypers versus silvers? And I'm just like, no. I mean, it hasn't clicked yet. Why would it now,
Yeah. It's keep it simple.
And also, the other side to that coin of all collectors, investors want the same three parallels. Use that to your advantage to like find other super cheap stuff that like you just like looking at. That maybe this year of Chronicles comes out with a cool insert that you just love, right? And it's going to be super cheap because it doesn't have any history to it. It has no. It has no like investors after it, and it's just going to be so cheap, but you just like it. It's like there's always a way to turn something into a positive. Either everyone loves it and it's an investor thing and you're making money, or everyone hates it and it's more fun for you. Like, just think about it that way.
Totally agree. We saw something interesting. I sent you a message the other day. I was like, look at this. I forget. We were looking at some prospect who's like not very much on the radar, and he had a PSA 10 orange Prism out of 49 that sold for less than his Prism PSA 10 silver. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? And you were like, well, dude, that's the flipper. Like, this guy isn't important enough for his orange to matter, but he is important enough for his silver to matter. And the silver is the investment grade card. And if he gets bigger, actually develops a collector base, then the orange, of course, will completely overtake the silver. So like, it's just the silver, man. It is what it is.
Dude, I did this with football almost to like prove a point, because like I could literally build the best Julio Jones collection on Instagram, and I didn't do it. I didn't build the best. There's some really cool Julio Jones collections out there, 101 Lugo shields and stuff. But I was able to build a really cool Julio Jones collection for not that much money, like a really good one, like gold, chrome, RPAs out the nose and PSA 10 silvers, and it was not expensive at all. So like, give me a player that's not super hyped that I just like him as a player, and let me build the freaking sickest collection of that player of all time, and watch how much fun I have with it.
That's a really fun way to look at it.
Dude, Julio Jones,
Really fun
sick. And you like Christian McCaffrey. These are like fun guys to collect. You're just like, dude, I like watching that dude. Let me just
look. Whenever I'm feeling like I just want to get a sick card, and I'm feeling honestly like not trying to spend basketball prices.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll go buy a 2019 Prism Gold Vinyl out of 5, a card that I could never afford of any of the basketball players I like to collect. And I'll go get it, the McCaffrey, for $100 on eBay. And I'm just like, and then a card comes, and I love the card. It looks awesome. And like, okay, McCaffrey is not, the biggest football player, not even close. But like, he has collectors, so like, it's a cool card that people would think is cool. And I like it. I think it's an awesome card. So whenever I feel like that, like my football PC is that, so that I can go get a Prism Gold Vinyl. I can go get a National Treasures RPA BGS 9.5. I can go get a Prism Gold of this guy. I just got his Origins 1/1 rookie auto, PSA 10. Like, huge cards from great brands that I love. I can go get them and collect them of this guy. And I can have that product, that card in my PC of a player that I think is phenomenal. So football, I love it as an outlet for those collecting instincts that just like you almost like lose a little bit when the value of this stuff is just so high that yeah.
It's like, would you rather have the 1/1 Shield rookie RPA Shield auto BGS 9.5 of I'll just say Julio Jones again because I'm not clever enough to think of someone else, or a Prism Silver PSA 10 Luka?
Oh, see, that's so easy. That's too easy. That's too easy.
It's like the same price,
And that, I love using the Luka Prism Silver as a barometer for like what's expensive and what's not in the hobby, because like that was my barometer all last season because I collect Luka, so we were getting 1/1s of Luka, and if they were cheaper than the Prism Silver PSA 10, yes please. I like that card as being like the threshold for like, if you can get a great card for cheaper than this Luka Silver PSA 10, like I think you did well.
You can get some sick cards for cheaper. I have the 2013 Prism Black BGS 10. It's just a sick card.
Dude, that card just speaks.
I paid $1,000 for that card, bro. $1,000, dude. That's like less than like a Michael Porter Jr. like optic raw orange or some shit. You know what I mean? It's like the black Prism of like the second year ever of Prism. It's like the best Prism card you can get.
Dude, that card is insane. I need, yeah.
It's just like, dude, you can have, if you find a player you really like, you can own some of the coolest sets and coolest cards, not just sets, but like cards, coolest cards ever made. Like let's say you collected freaking Jason Capono. You could have the 2003 Exquisite RPA at a 23 BGS 9.5, which is like one of the stupidest, sickest cards of all time, in a Cavs patch similar to LeBron. And Patrick has that card. He has a Jason Capono rookie Cavs RPA. And it's like, dude, it's obviously not LeBron, so like I get it, but like, dude, you've got like the sickest, most historical card ever, and it's super close and real deal.
So true. So freaking true. Or like or same thing with like the PMGs or Prism Golds. Like Justin 6'10" just loaded up on Prism Golds, and it's just those melees were amazing, dude. Like there is something to be said about the set too. You know, like I just bought a PMG red of John Wallace from 1997-98 just cause it's a cool ass set, and that's the only one I could afford. So I went and I bought that one, and then I freaking
The guy with
graded
an MJ.
What's that?
Says the guy with an MJ.
Yeah, because I was lucky enough and crazy enough to get it early, but now I'm relegated to buying John Wallace. That's the best I can do now.
Was it the one where you met him at a police station, or was that the?
No. The MJ was the car dealership.
The MJ was we bought this guy a car and
Yeah.
we drove away with the MJ. Yeah.
It was so awesome. Dude, like, how much fun was it collecting? You know, like 2 and 3 years ago, when you could get like these like massive grails for like regular car prices instead of Bugattis.
Yep. It'll probably never happen again. And those were the good old days, dude. And honestly, we felt crazy for the price we were paying at that time, didn't we? We felt
Yeah.
crazy.
That Rubies that you bought, that you like had Nick go get, was like, whoa, easy here, buddy. Like, what are you disrupting the Jordan market here? What are you doing, bro?
That caused real issues.
You caused some real stirs, and like, whoa, hold on. Like, we all agreed this thing is 20. You just paid 22. What are you, crazy?
Yep.
And it's like, I guess, but like, I really want it.
Yep, that's when you know that you're crazy about cards too, because I knew that would be an issue because it's not very tactful to end an auction early. It's just the whole thing was not tactful by me, but I just said, dude, I'm sorry, guys. Please forgive me later. I'm doing this thing, guys. I have the ability to put somebody. I have somebody who's 6 hours away from this guy, and so that's enough. He's going, and I'm getting this card in person, and the seller.
He talked about flying me out there to get the card. Like, Josh, like, I don't think you understand. Like, it wasn't that, like, someone was 6 hours away. He was like, you will go get this card. I will put you on the flight. Like,
that was considered as an option.
It was like a literal, at that time, like 2 years ago, it was a literal gold rush where like you, me, Rodman, guys like that, Grant, where we're just like, we got to get these cards. Like, they're gonna be gone in 2 years. Like, we gotta get, and we were totally right. We were just like, we gotta get them. Gotta pay. Doesn't matter. Go get those gold LeBrons. Gotta buy them all.
Yes.
Now it's like the door's shut.
It's shut on me. That's for damn sure.
You're over here buying LeBrons now. You gotta.
Yeah, because that door is gonna shut soon too. That door has shut. I was so grateful to be able to get it. I think 2018 Prism is a really great year for that product. To be able to get the LeBron from that year was the gold was just it reminded me. It reminded me of that gold rush of 2018. Being able to get that card again and just knowing now that it's sitting right there nice and comfortably in my PC. I know exactly where it is. I know which cards it's in between. It's sitting right on top of the Luka gold and right beneath the Michael Jordan Platinum Medallion. I just know exactly. I just love that card sitting in my PC. It just feels amazing.
I have a really close friend who I actually still have his like Flickr page saved because he was like my initial inspiration for LeBron. He was like way ahead of the curve on LeBron refractors and like PSA 10 stuff. He had it all, and he still does. And I remember talking to him. He bought his Ultimate Collection rookie LeBron, which is like a huge card now. Obviously, I think he paid like $2,000 for it, which is people would be so mad to know that. Right. I always talk to him about it. I'm like, dude, that card's going up. It's going up. He's like, if that card ever gets to $50,000, dude, I'm just gonna lose my freaking mind. There's no way it'll ever get to 50. Like, I have to sell. It got to 50. Guess what happened? He didn't want to sell.
Yep, he kept it.
No, he still got it. I was like, you said you were gonna sell it at 50, and he's like, no, I mean, I still love it. I'm like, yeah, this is collecting. That's how it works.
Yeah, you said something so key. He got him for cheap, and then he kept them. He kept them. And like when it comes to LeBron, Jordan, Kobe, the goats of the hobby, it's one thing to get them, but then to resist the temptation of selling them and to keep them in your PC that's the other part of the equation too. that goes into making a great PC as well, is being able to keep the card and continue to enjoy the card even when, you know, it becomes very valuable, which is not so easy to do.
He's got like PSA 10 gold refractors, PSA 10 X refractors, BGS 95 Galactic, all kinds of stuff. And I'm just like, you know, I didn't talk to him as much over the last year just because of everything that's been going on. But and I resurface and I go back and look at his Flickr and I'm just like, oh my God, dude, you've got like, based on what we talked about 2 years ago versus what's happened last year, you're just sitting on a gold mine, my friend.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I think people's lives have been changed by what happened in the hobby.
I'm not sure we are not that great.
I don't know. Maybe it'd be more impressive to her if we didn't.
Yes. I mean, we humbly are just two humble guys, right, Chris? We're just two guys. We're not the best looking, we're not the smartest, we're not the richest, but we're just two guys.
Just
I'm
two
not sure
nerds at the nerd table, man, trying to avoid the cool table.
Luckily our trays are very close, so that's good.
We are huddled together. Dude, shout out to Chrissy Buckets. Shout out to Chrissy Buckets. Christina, you've interacted with Chrissy.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's up, Chris?
What's up?
You know this person?
Just do it. It's been done. It's been done. Okay. Any final thoughts here?
Ooh, 11:15.
The future is here. An innovation that will change the way the industry works. A Hot 100 chart, updated daily. The most accurate price guide on the market. Every card has its own profile with a wealth of information. Know the precise, real-time value of any card in the system. On demand. You now have the power to unlock the secrets of the hobby. The game changer is here. Card Ladder.